to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Paul Kelly. This is a reaction video to a statement that has been released by Conor Benn in the last few minutes. We've been on it right away, haven't we, Paul? Obviously, we're both waiting on our laptops to record a video today. Just to start things off, I'll read the statement out, and then we'll see what we both think of it, if that's all right, Paul. Conor Benn said, I am thankful that after an incredibly challenging 2 years, the NADP have today finally cleared me of any wrongdoing. That's the National Anti-Doping Panel, for those that don't know. This past 24 months has unquestionably been the toughest fight of my life, a rollercoaster period within which the WBC has already decided that I was innocent, and the NADP decided in the first instance that there was no case to answer, and I was free to fight. As someone who is so passionate about boxing and an advocate for clean sport, I hope now I have been cleared it can be understood why I've maintained my innocence so strongly throughout. As a man of God, I bear no ill will towards UKAD or the British Boxing Board of Control. We have a shared ambition of a clean sport, and I look forward to reconciling with the board and moving forward together. I would like to thank my fans that have stood by me. Your support has never and will never go unnoticed. And of course, my friends and family, all of whom have displayed an unwavering belief in me. Only with the strength of all the support have I made it through. I would also like to thank Matchroom Neverlast, as their steadfast support ensured that I could see the process through to a full conclusion. I've stayed disciplined and focused despite the challenging challenges faced, which is a testament to my desire to be great. I'm relieved to finally close this chapter, and I'm excited to get back in the ring to realize my ultimate potential. Who wants it next? Paul, thanks for listening to me read that out. Probably not the most exciting part of your day, but I did have to read the full statement out. Give us your reaction to that, please. Conor Benn, he's come out, and I think the key part of the statement is he says has been finally cleared of any wrongdoing. As I'm sure we're all aware, he did fail two drugs tests over 2 years ago now, 2.5 years ago now, really, in the run up to the fight with Chris Eubank Jr. Give us your reaction, please, Paul.
Yeah, thanks for having me on as always, mate. A couple of things kind of sprung to mind straight away. First and foremost, I think like whether you like it or not, whether you believe Ben or not, whatever your opinion is on the whole, has been over the past 2 years on the whole situation. He's a big name, so it's good. And from a British standpoint, in a few years we might be lacking, big name, big stars. You kind of look at the biggest three are still obviously Joshua Fury and probably Eubank Jr. in the order. There are no spring chickens, any of the three of them. So you probably are looking for someone who could, be that next big name. Could that be Conor Benn? He already has the name. Now that he's been cleared of any wrongdoing as well, you'd hope that maybe fans can get behind him again, and that from that standpoint. And yeah, he could go on to be the next big pay-per-view fighter from the UK shores. My second kind of reaction isn't as positive, in the sense that it's been 24 months. He said in the statement there, 24 months. You know, I'm not accusing him. This is just a question that's paused that came to my mind. 24 months. That's quite a concise time of 2 years. In the sense, has is in the background. Has he been serving a 2 year ban? That we never, that it was never released officially that he was banned by UKAD, British Boxing Board of Control, for 2 years. Because we've seen fighters in the past all over the world, who have been failed the test, have been handed a ban. It has been public knowledge that, right, you're banned for 2 years. Has that been the case for Conor Benn, and has he just been serving this ban in the background whilst proclaiming his innocence? That could be the case. I could be completely wrong as well. So there are kind of two instant things that yeah, that kind of came to my head. But and thirdly, obviously, I was thinking of straight away of who he's going to fight next, but I'm sure we'll come on to that at the end.
Yeah, of course, we'll get to the good bit. I think it's kind of the elephant in the room, isn't it? And I'm just look, obviously, Twitter, as you can imagine, or X has blown up in the last few minutes, and a lot of people are saying you're not. I think the people are saying two things. One, as you have questioned, have you have you just been serving your ban, or have you just been given a backdated ban and been told, right, you've not fought in the UK for 2.5 years, and you've now done your backdated ban, you're now free to fight? And secondly, which is a point I just wanted to touch on, a lot of people are saying you still there is you are giving us zero proof, you are giving the public zero proof. Conor Benn failed two drugs tests. That's a fact. That's not kind of an opinion or kind of a rumor. I know he's denied those being in his body. I know he denied that during that interview he did with Piers Morgan a few months ago. But that's always been my one of my issues and one of my problems with this whole situation. Why did Conor Benn fail two drugs tests? And I'm one. My opinion of this is I don't believe Conor Benn purposefully wanted to take performance enhancing drugs. I believe in cross contamination. I believe that boxers are advised in the sense that they were advised and said, look, you can take this and this will get out of your system and you won't fail a drugs test. And sometimes these things go wrong. I believe that's a possibility here. But what I do think still needs to happen is to be told the British boxing public or the world boxing public need to be told, right, what is supposed to have happened here. I think that's fair. And if we're being honest, these aren't my words, but what a lot of people are saying is pre drugs test fail, Conor Benn looked like an animal in the ring. Brutal knockout of Chris Algieri, stopped Samuel Vargas inside one round. And then in the two fights he's had in the last year or so, both have gone the distance, and he's not the power doesn't look like it's been quite there. So that's made more people question more things, understandably so. So I just think there are still questions that I feel may not be answered, if I'm honest. But we shall see. Obviously, this is quite a big story. I think we were expecting it. I think that was Conor Benn seemed very confident recently of having a fight announced soon, and here we are. He's gone on a bit of a Twitter rampage since the statement's been released. I think one tweet he's put out. He's put out quite a few tweets responding to people who have shown him support. One tweet's put out has said absolutely anybody can get it. Satsuma head. I don't know if that's a reference to Chris Eubank Jr. Javer Javer Lumper, which is a reference to Javante Davis, Errol Spence not been gifted with a nickname, and Devin Diddy Haney. Not sure what that's in reference to. So he's gone back to kind of calling out big names. But I'll ask you now, Paul, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen next? When and who against do you think we'll see Conor Benn in the ring against?
I'll be intrigued whether he has a tune-up, a kind of ring rust thing, kind of thing straight away, like in a fight that he's never going to lose. And then for me, I don't know if you agree, but seen recently, Conor Benn, maybe the whole situation has been quite quiet, but in the last couple of months, it's all been Eubank Jr. and Ben again. So obviously it got made in the past, so there's no reason why it can't get made again. This time I think obviously Chris Eubank Jr. holds more of the aces. Like, he won't be cutting those extra couple pounds at the catch weight. He'll say himself, this is middleweight or fights off mate. So that's the one I want to see. I can see it, genuinely can see it happening. But it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Conor Benn thrown on an undercard, in January, February of a show against a name that we've maybe never heard of, or a name we know he's going to beat for the whole ring rust thing. And then, yeah, whenever it may be, April, May, June, early summertime, I really, really want to see that Chris Eubank Jr. fight. Yeah, I think there's. I just think of the build up for that now. I made it with the added
Mm.
with the added animosity of this whole situation brewing over the past 2.5 years. So yeah, that's what I want to happen. From a selfish standpoint, and I do believe there is a chance we can get that as well. Both men clearly want it. We saw them in the ring after Eubank's last fight against Sarah Meta as well. It seems like this fight can and I think will happen.
I completely agree. I think there's when fighters get in the ring like that and they kind of have a, pretty much have a face off. That means that's the most likely fight for both. I just think it's a case of does Conor Benn have a tune up or not? The last I heard was his plan was to fight in February. Whether Eubank Jr. will be ready or want to fight in February, that's obviously only 3 months away now, or not is a different kind of story. But I believe Conor Benn will be fighting in February either against Chris Eubank Jr. or in a tune up. And yeah, April, May time, that Eubank Jr. fight could finally happen. All right. Leave it there, Paul. This is a developing story. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say about it. It's going to be kind of talk of the town for next week or so. Paul, thank you very much for your time as always, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Thanks, mate. All the best.